So let me continue here with the Daily Companion 2010 and my entries on the 4th of April, and let's see if I can make my way to May. I listened to Quran Surah 7 through 9. I wrote out of the first Enochian key 3 times 6. 12. 2 verse 3 times 6. I don't know what I was saying there. Enochian key 19, author 19. 6:38 to 6:57 p.m. Scent offering of cherry representing gang. Subha with Abdullah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Of course, to make it a group thing, I may have said La ilaha illallah. The God who wasn't there. And so we watched that one. Features. Oh, did we watch the extras? I watched the Great World Religions, Christianity, 7 through 10. And I read the Great World Religions, Christianity guidebook, taught by Professor Luke Timothy Johnson. And the next day, I finished the Surah 47 of the N.J. Dawood translation. I made a chocolate scent offering representing blood and flesh. I watched my 28, 4, 11, 14, 25. Is that what I'm saying? Video on prayer. I listened to Faham Quran 5 and picked the Quran Surah 10 through 12. The sleep CD on Andagani, Surah 58. And there was 1,560 repetitions of the 12 letters chant. And on the 6th, the sleep CD on Abdul Ghani Surah 20. And I listened to Pick the Quran Surah 14 through 16 and Faham al-Quran Part 4 of 28 through 30. There was a Mogra scent offering. I watched Great World Religions, Christianity 9 through 12. I read I through XI and page 1 through 45 of Lives of the Saints, translated by Christopher and Annie Friedman. And the next day, 46 through 126 was read from there. Enochian key 9. I wrote out verses 3 and 6, and that's 4 and 5. There aren't really verses in the Enochian keys properly, but I've divided for easier use. Well, easier division instead of, a lot of people just say which word. Enochian key dot which word. And the marrow of salt for wings. Okay, I watched, I painted the marrow of salt part for the wings. Oregano scent offering representing animals. Great World Religions, Christianity, program 7 through 10. And I listened to Pick the Quran, Surah 17 through 19. 18 is a good one to say on Friday. So is 32. So is 76. So is 62. And so is 50. And when I'm on retreat, I like to do that. So wormwood. So I painted the wormwood on the wings. And the secret seal of Solomon. I like to encode information in my paintings. Christianity, so 7, 11. Okay, what program is it? Oh, 11 and 12. The Great World Religions, Christianity. Oh, 9 through 12 the next day, so I don't know. I read to the end of Surah 48 of the N.J. Dawood translation. I listened to Piqal Quran, Surah 20 to 23. There was a Mogra scent offering. And on that Friday, the 9th, I read page 127 to 210 of that Lives of the Saints book, Great World Religions, Christianity, 9 through 12. And from 2:19 to 4:20 p.m., Enochian, key 19, author 24, which I have vague reference. So I'm supposed to be somewhere with red clay soil, or at least that's what I see in there. But it's sort of incomplete memory whenever not whenever, but all I have left of this one is a incomplete memory, and I'd like to keep working with that meditation. The Great World Religions Christianity program 7 through 10. I read the Lives of the Saints, page 211 through 294 on that Saturday. Sleep City on At-Nagani, Surah 40. Scent offering of oregano, meaning to brighten disposition. And on the 11th, I listened to Piqal Quran, Surah 35 through 40. I watched the Great World Religions, Christianity, 11, 12, 7, and 8. Oh, that's why I'm putting 7 and 8. For some reason I was 11, 12, 7, and 8. That's interesting. Why didn't I just decide to watch it over and over again in order? Cherry scent offering representing love. Read through page 295 to 372 of the Lives of the Saints book. Piqal Quran, Surah 35, 240, Fahm al-Quran. Part 4 of 28 is probably where they have Surah 67. So 67 through 114. And on the 12th, the N.J. Dawood translation to the end of Surah 49. Of course, I'm reading the Arabic with this. And the Piqal Quran has the Arabic and the English. The Piqal is the translator. I listened to Piqal Quran, Surah 41 through 50. Sleep CD on Abdul-Ghani, Surah 12. I watched the Great World Religions, program 9 through 12. And on the Tuesday, it was programs 7 through 10. And there was the BBC Celts program 2 and 3. I watched it and discussed it with the neighbor. We saw that was one of those series that we saw the whole of it over the years, at least once. Or probably just about once. Some programs, he borrowed the Joseph Campbell programs repeatedly. I don't think we saw any of those series, except maybe Sukhavati completely. Omar, okay, The Lives of the Saints, page 373 through 414. I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 51 through 72. And 415 to 512 of The Lives of the Saints on the Wednesday the 14th. 7 through 12 of The Great World Religions, Christianity. And I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. And if there's nothing else, I would like to point out something important in regards to all this, is that divination, I'm not meaning that, you know, I'm working with symbolism. I'm spiritualizing my brainstorming. I'm not, you know, calling up various entities or the universe to which is one of the most foolish sort of evocations, the idea just whatever spirit answers me, just, you know, answer my prayers. It's like, yeah, that opens yourself to anything. And yeah, that's not what I mean in terms of divination. I mean, you know, just mixing prayer into your brainstorming and stuff. It's, you know. So on the 15th, I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 1, 2, 1 through 20, 255, 286 to 287, when did I finish? 72. Oh, maybe the next day I finished 73 through 114. And then I listened to that portion of the Pickthall Quran. Oh, I also listened to 2. Okay. And listened to Fahim al-Quran 28.4 through 30. I might have stayed home. That's what I was able to listen to, you know, like 5 hours of it. Maybe not. Cherry Scent Offering, representing love. I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion 1 through 4. And I reflected upon the mystic glyph cards. Typically, the second month of every year, it's the first month. One of the things that I do is I'll take a deck, and to learn the message is that are associated with each card, or learn the deck and stuff, I will, you know, work with it for about every day completely. For well, actually, in some years I would take out a card as I went by, and maybe I waited till the whole deck was done. But I want to make sure I understand the messages that can be explained with the deck. Of course, my writing is not exhaustive of what I could say. I mean, just to outline the symbolism that could be, woven into stories and such. Page 103 to 114, the index of the Quran, parallel Arabic text. Okay, so I was reading the index of that. NJ Dawood shouldn't. Oh, I read to the end of Surah 50 of the NJ Dawood translation. And the next day, I read Exploring the Roots of Religion course guidebook, and page I through IV and 1 through 42, probably the Mystic Glyphs book. I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion, programs 1 through 4. The second Enochian key was meditated with between 3:04 to 3:56 p.m. and 9:39 to 9:51 a.m. And I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 3 and 4, and I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. I think I already said that. So on the Saturday, I again watched programs 1 through 4 of Exploring the Roots of Religion. Picked al Quran, Surah 4 and 5. I guess I didn't finish 4. 4 is more than an average. It's more than a 30th, so I try to read at least, listen to, clear through with translation at least once a month. A scent offering of oregano representing happiness. And we have, I read Exploring the Roots of Religion, page 43 to 85. Oh, so the guidebook took me multiple days here to finish. And 150 times with the chant. And Yip Bagli. Kanyala. Lap. Og. Adgut. Imna. Beam. E. Gon. Za. Levga. Tan. Yad. Oud. O. Ain. Yele. Brien. Dayad. Oh, Layad. Vumd. Vumd. Oof. Oof. Af. Ood. Qavran. Ood. Pop. Ka. Kies. Layad. And okay, I'm hopefully I figured hopefully I have the translation of that here somewhere. Okay, so on the 18th, I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion, 9 through 14. The Truth Behind Noah's Ark. There was a chocolate scent offering representing good judgment. I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. I listened to Picked al Quran, Surah 6 and 7. Read page 86 through 134. And so on the 15th, Al-Quran, Surah, okay, I read through the end of Surah 51. Listen to Picked al-Quran, Surah 6, Surah 38 through, 8 through 10. Baham al-Quran 6. I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion 1 through 4. And index, probably 145 to 100. Oh no, that's ISBN number. Okay. So on the 20th, we have Enochian Key. The 19th, the 7th author. I painted a border on the painting. Cinnamon was a symbolism of inspiration. Oh, and I was working on the Book of Benorum. That's in the Enochian playlist. Because the Book of Benorum explains the 7 by 7 by 7 system in the Enochian, the Holy Tablet, and that sort of thing. There's more to explain, but mainly I just gave context to some experience I had, and I feel at some point I'll have some more experience and write another Book of Benorum or two to explain that and talk about the other detail that I've left out of that text. So I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. Did that the day before and the day after and the day after that and the day before that and the day, listen to Pickthall Quran, Surah 11 through 13, Bahama Quran 28, Part 4 through 30. Symbols of the Great Southwest Patterns. So I read I through XV and 1 through 59 in the Field Guide to Rock Art, Symbols of the Greater Southwest Patterns on. So I did consider some of the meaning and usage of that book when making my Dina petroglyphs speak to the Princess of Cups painting. And on the 21st, page 60 through 123 of that same book, I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion, 1 through 4. I painted the central star of the Sigillum Di Ameth, from the Enochian system. I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 14 through 16, Faham Quran, Part 4 of 28 through 30. And so on the 22nd, programs 1 through 4 of the Roots of Religion, Ad-Dangani, Surah 3, Orange Scent Offering, Beauty, and listen to Pickthall Quran, Surah 17 through 19, the 7th Enochian Key, 4:07 to 4:10 p.m., and 4:10 through 19 p.m. Read through the end of Surah 52, the N.J. Dawood translation reflected with the mystic cards. Dandelion Key is something, broken cone branch, pentagram, place of... So I made a circle with dandelions to meditate one place, and another 4:38 to 4:46 p.m. 4:20 through 4:19. So I made some diagrams in the park, basically, with wood and flowers. On the 23rd, I reflected on the mystic glyph cards. Grapefruit, symbolizing love, was the scent offering that I made. I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 20 through 24. There was a 25-word chant said 1,468 times. And read through page 124 to 189 of the Field Guide to Rock Art. Physically having trouble maintaining this position down here. So one for 1425, program on ritual prayer. I watch Exploring the Roots of Religion. Bren, 2 letters. Oh, and God names. Okay. And on the 24th, read page 190 to 256 of the Field Guide to Rock Art. Enochian Key 7, 217 to 338. Pickthall Quran, Surah 25 through 30. And 576. Oh, 20, some selections from Surah 27. Okay. And from 31, I guess, too. What did I? Or was it to 30? Okay, so programs 1 through 4 of The Roots of Religion. I watch Banned from the Bible 2 and Angels and Demons Decoded. That's Saturday. Pickthall Quran, I listened to 25 through 29. There was Cherry Scent Offering, representing love. I reflected on the Mystic Glyph cards, and I meditated with them again on the 25th. Sleep Sea on Abdul Ghani, Surah 35. I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And so Enochian Key 19, Author 11, 4:07 to 7:12 p.m. Oh, 4:42. Okay, 4:42 p.m. That makes more sense. Although a person can accidentally sleep through a watch of the day. Page 1 through 53. I listened to Pickthall Quran, Surah 31 through 37, and 31, 34, an extra time because I have that as a separate file. Happiness, Freedom, and Joy. Susan Gregg 1 I through IXII. And Mastering the Toltec Way, a guide to happiness. Oh, a daily guide. Okay. I have a Celtic one I haven't read. Maybe I'll read that one later this year. And the next day, I watched programs 5 through 8 of The Roots of Religion. Finished Surah 53 of the N.J. Dawood translation. Meditate with those cards again. Listen to Pickthall Quran, Surah 38 through 46. Fahim Quran 28, Part 4 through 30. Bob Rogers, so I meditated on the mystic glyphs. There's something else. Gang is a symbolism of cherry. I don't see where the meditation is, but okay, so on the 27th, I read through the end of Surah 54, the N.J. Dawood translation. I read the mystic glyphs, an oracle based on Native American symbols. Oh, sacred symbols, same thing. The same programs of the love, a symbolism of cherry. I watched The Roots of Religions, those programs. I copied out on my seal, the Great Seal, Enochian painting, the names of the daughters of light, the daughters' daughters, the sons of sons, the crosses, that sort of thing. Of course, I don't mean to use the crosses in a Christian way, or I don't list out angel names because I'm praying to angels. I definitely don't pray to the angels. Through the end of Surah 55 the next day on an N.J. Dawood translation, and Mystic Glyphs, an oracle based on Native American symbolism. Oh, okay, maybe I finished reading that one. I definitely meditated with the cards. I listened to Pickthall, Quran, Surah... So 41 through 57, so 58 through... I was exploring the roots of religion. 58 through 78? Okay, 5 through 8. Orange, symbolizing divination. It might be a good idea to find yourself some orange. On the 29th, Enochian Key 19, Author 15, 3:33 to 3:49 p.m. Programs 5 through 8 of Exploring the Roots of Religion. Listen to Pickthall Quran, Surah 73 through 114, Fahim al-Quran, Part 4 of 28 through 30. I read to the end of Surah 56 of the N.J. Dawood translation. I meditated with Mystic Glyph cards. And I meditated with Mystic Glyph cards on the 30th and the 31st. And I read page 54 through 107 of the Mystic Glyphs book, I guess. I watched Exploring the Roots of Religion 5 through 8. Pickthall Quran. Okay, I watched certain the selections from the Pickthall Quran that I separated out, but of course I listened to Surah 1 too. And on that Friday the 30th, we have Calendula scent offering representing chastity, 1:30 to 1:49 p.m. Enochian Key 19, Author 16. On the 1st of May, meditated with Mystic Glyph cards. I watched Ancient Aliens 2, The Visitors, 5 through 8 of The Roots of Religion, 5, 3, and 4. Okay, I read page 108 to 169, Mastering the Toltec Way. Oh, that's a book I read the day before. And an orange scent offering representing brightening disposition. So